You. Grand Rising, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Miss Dolores. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Evangelist. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Lolita. Hey, Layla. Hello. I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday so far. Miss Dolores, why are you laughing at me? I'm laughing because over here, y'all want me to tell y'all why I'm laughing? Because the people over here on Bigo asked me if I'm pregnant, and I said yes. I'm lying, but they keep asking me that. So I'm starting to go with it and I'm just letting it fly, you know? So that's why I am laughing, guys. Um, yeah, so I just lied before I pressed this. Right before I pressed this live button, I lied. I surely did lie. For sure. I did. Like for real. Like, I don't know, guys. Alrighty. So I hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. You got a nice pregnancy looks good on you then. Right, Mr. Loris. I'm not pregnant. I'm just happy. I'm at peace. I'm healthy. And that's it. So yeah, that's all that's going on over here. There's no pregnancy happening. I play all day. All right, y'all. Another great show to discuss. Another true crime story of craziness, dismemberment, and what the world. Okay, so this morning, every time I got my phone by my mic, it acts a little crazy. So this morning we are going to be covering a cold-blooded case of it was a staged femicide that happened. And the suspect in this situation, he was just recently resentenced. Okay, he was just resentenced. So this is the victim. Her name is Carol Maltesi. Okay, is her name. She was also known as a OnlyFans model. And then the suspect in this case, he is someone by the name of David Fontana. And what he did in this case right here is kind of sickening a little bit. So she was 26 years old. She was a mother and she was an adult film actress and creative who had performed under the name Charlotte and Angie was her name on social media. So she was very ambitious. She was, of course, well known by those who loved her across social media. And she was murdered by someone that she knew, a man that lured under a false pretense as well as filmed final moments of her. He kept her body in a freezer for 2 months. And Fontana is now serving a life sentence for her death. Okay. Now, when it comes to Carl, she had, of course, this is a international case, y'all. This did not happen here in the United States. She lived outside of Milan, and she did have a 6-year-old son who lived in Verona. So she did want to move in October of 2020, where she decided to do this, and try to make this move. And she decided to go ahead and move out and things of that nature. That is where she had met David. She met David out in October of 2020. Okay. So she met her. He is a local banker who had also dabbled a little bit in some photography for a little bit and blogging. Not a blogger. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't like when certain people use that term because I've seen a couple bloggers term it to true crime suspects. So this is kind of strange. So they had started a casual yet open relationship, and by 2022, things had begun to shift between them. So Fontana had became very much obsessed. He had created a fake OnlyFans account in order to basically lure her into, filming some things and filming a scene with her and things of that nature. So on January the 11th of 2022, they had then filmed two sex videos, and they did this at Carl's house. So Fontana had later confessed in the first video. He says that it was very mild, but during the second, he had tied her to a pole and put a bag over her head and began to beat her with a hammer. So after the beating, he then slit her throat with the kitchen knife. He left her body there, and he began to stare at her body for over 30 minutes. And then he left and went home. Okay. Now, in the timeline line of events of how this stuff occurred, January the 11th of 2022, Fontana had killed Carol during a BDSM sex style shoot. He then purchased a freezer, an axe, and a hacksaw on Amazon. He then cleaned the apartment, does some laundry, and then places the body in bags and freezes it. So in January, from January to March of 2022, this is where the cover up had occurred. He posed as Carol doing some text messages to family and friends. He also paid her rent, drove her car, and then posed as her on WhatsApp. He sent messages to her mother, her boyfriend, and even some journalists, pretending to say that she had quit working in the adult entertainment industry. So in March of 2022, he then dumped the body. So Fontana had drove some miles away. He then tossed her dismembered remains, which were 15 pieces, down a mountain into a ravine. So he tosses all of this there, and then a passerby had then found the hand, and the hand had some glittered nail polish on it. So March 21st to the 22nd, that is where the police had then they published a tattoo description of her to possibly assist the fans that followed her or someone that could have possibly recognized this particular tattoo. So a journalist by the name of Andrea Tortelli had then text her number and gets a reply from the number. So fortunately, I'm fine, is what the text had said. He then had asked her for a voice message, gets nothing, and goes to the police. So on March 22nd of 2022, that is where he began to confess. So Fontana had then filed a missing persons report. Mid an interview, he breaks down. He confesses everything. He also detailed the murder, the freezer, and the cover up. Now, Carol, she wasn't just an adult entertainer. She was a mother, a daughter, a survivor of also some emotional trauma that she had dealt with, and she had posted about violence against women in the months earlier before her actual disappearance and death. And she was trying to leave the sex working industry to reunite with her son at some time. So Fontana had took that from her. So he also had some premeditation into this, where he bought some murder tools. That was premeditation. The extreme cruelty, so the slow hammer attack and the slashing of the throat, and then the manipulation, where it comes to impersonating her for weeks while people were out searching for her. Now, this wasn't just a moment of passion. It was a stage psychological trap in which he placed her in. Now, when it comes to this, initially, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison for this. But just last month, the appeals court had resentenced him to life in prison and gave him 45 years because they began to recognize the aggravated homicide, the dismemberment, the suppression of the corpse, and the intent to mislead. And he was ordered to pay money to her family as well, which is her son. So in court, he said, "I would give my life to go back. I don't know if I'll ever be forgiven, but forgiveness isn't up to him." Now, it's important that we take these type of cases seriously because a lot of people do social media. I do social media. This is a day where social media influencing is it's an everyday thing. This is a lifestyle. This is not something that being a social media influencer or being someone that, works online and connects with people virtually, this is not something that you just wake up and can leave just whenever you can, especially if you've set yourself a great foundation into social media. But in the midst of that, you create people who gain some form of infatuation with you virtually. And it's strange, but it's true. He had no real remorse at all. It's strange, but it's true. And so I always tell like women, like if you are someone that work OnlyFans or you work, something that is a very seductive type of job, a very sexual, aggressive type of job, it's very important that you safeguard yourself because you never truly know who is watching you and what they're watching you for. You never know if it's because they truly like your content or it's because they are totally obsessed with you. This is like the fourth or fifth case that I've seen. I've seen one case, and that one was here in America, where there was a girl that did adult content on social media, and a man was following her. He even put a tracker on her vehicle. And like a week or so before her death, her family she found it and informed her family about it. Well, lo and behold, this person had not only put a tracker on her, but he also bought an apartment upstairs from her. When they found her, she was upstairs in his apartment, stabbed, and he had wrote affirmations and his love for her using her blood. Okay? Basically saying how much he loved her and he's infatuated with her and his feelings about her. So you must be very mindful about who you allow into, like, around you, who you allow to talk to you, be in your personal space, and what you say to them. You have to safeguard yourself because what you may think is a simple hi or you look nice today, to someone else, it could be I love you and you mean the world to me. And all you said was a simple hi and they look nice today. So it's really important that when you are working in these type of spaces, that you are mindful about the things you say, the meetings that you have, who you allow access to you, and what type of situations in which you are willing. But it happens. It happens. It really does. Where people will get these very intrusive type of feelings about you and you don't even know why they feel that way. Like you don't even all you're doing is making a video or all you doing is pressing a live button, but a lot of people are not able to disconnect what you're saying in real life. Okay, a lot of people have fantasies or they have fantasies of their own. That's a perfect way to put it. Like a lot of people have fantasies that you have not put these fantasies there. You have not, gave them anything to feel this way, but in their mind it's way deeper than what you can think of. So you got to be careful. Like you do. And like, if I've even used it and I don't do OF content. Okay? I don't meet everybody. I don't meet everybody. Y'all know this. I am possibly one of the most antisocial social media influencers that you've ever meet, okay? I am not. I'm only extroverted online, but in my natural world, in my reality, I'm really so introverted. I can literally sit somewhere for hours and don't require nobody to talk to me, okay? And you will forget that I'm even there. I can literally entertain myself. So with me already being like that, um I'm already very picky about who I allowed around me. Y'all know I don't even like people touching me. I don't even shake hands. Okay. If you ever see me in real life, don't you go reaching out trying to hug on me because you're going to scare me. You're going to scare me out the roof. I don't do hugs. I don't do any of that. I'll give you a little 1-2. How you doing? Elbow, what's up, but don't, I don't do none of that touchy, Philly. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I don't do all that. Okay. So don't try it. So you got to be really mindful about when you meet people, especially online, because you never know what their purpose is. And this goes for even when you guys are on like dating apps. Okay. This even goes when you're on dating apps. You guys meet people on dating apps and then you go all in. You want to take them to your house and you want to take them here. And whole time that person is about to do some crazy stuff. We just now covered this case of Sade Robinson. She met him, second date, and he did the unthinkable, dismembered her and spread her body all over. He just now was convicted for her death. Hey, Brandon. So at the end of the day, you got to be really, really mindful about, you know, what you do and how you do it and who you talk to and how you talk to them and, how far you take conversations and what details of the conversations that you're given. Your body language can make someone feel like that it is more than what it is. Whole time, your body language is not, um, you got to be careful. Even with me, like I got a whole meet and greet coming up next month. I've told myself I'm going to have a bigger one, but I know me. So I had to literally tell myself, you know what? I'm going to have a smaller meet and greet first, right? And then after the smaller meet and greet, I'm then going to have a bigger meet and greet. And then I will be able to allow myself to, get adjusted to those that I have not met, but also how to basically adjust to new people, new places, and new surroundings and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I have to prep myself mentally for this. I'm not really prepared to meet all these different people that I don't know, different spaces, different energies, different expectations, different this and different that. I have to maneuver really wisely. Every decision has to be made in a way to where I can be safe, and then those that are around me will also be safe as well. That is honestly how I move in my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Posting your favorite restaurants is not a thing. Like, you can't do that, because if you do that, then the person that you're on a date with, they may then decide, okay, I'm going to take her to this restaurant, to then allow her to be able to know that I know what she likes to do and I know what she enjoys and things of that nature. You got to be careful that sometimes that when you meet people, they're watching you more than you're watching them. They're taking time to study you more than you're taking time to study them. So if you're not 10 steps ahead of yourself, you're going to be able to allow them to trap you, manipulate you, premeditate some craziness. And I always tell people all the time, when you first meet new people, you're meeting who they want you to think they are. You're not meeting who they actually are. Meaning, if they are a dangerous person, they're not going to show you that when you first meet them. If you're meeting someone who, offline or something like that, they're not going to show you that they got anger problems. They're not going to show you that they're physically abusive or emotionally or verbally abusive. They're not going to tell you those things at the front gate. You're not going to see that stuff until later on. So, due to these reasons, you have to safeguard yourself first, because this person, you don't know what they're capable of. You can't get too personal in 2025. You can't go out here just meeting whoever. Every decision should be made in a way to where you know that you have put all your ducks in a row and they're quacking. And they're going to quack loud enough to let you know that if something is wrong before we get to what we're trying to get to. You got to be able to do that. I don't post, listen, I don't be, even though I do social media, I don't even really be posting. Even when I told myself I'm gonna do better of posting, like, you know, my little meals. I don't even want people to even see what I eat. Like, I don't even be wanting this people to see nothing. When I get off live, y'all, I really and that's my struggle as an influencer, is because I try to keep as much privacy to my life as I can, y'all. I really do. Because I have a husband, I have a daughter, and I don't want to overstep their boundaries by the things in which I partake in on social media. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't want to, even when we go out for family outings, I don't even like to press the live button when we do that, because I feel like that you guys get me 5 days a week, and I'm trying to put in time for my family. And so I don't be wanting to press a live button or post a video or make that time to create content, because I look at that as vulnerable time for me and my family. And we're creating memories that's going to go past a video that's on social media. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go past the views that I want to get on a video. I will be able to remember these things forever and ever. Even if the cloud of social media deletes itself, the memories that I have with my family will last forever. That's how I think about it. I becoming more and more private as I get older, I hate sharing every moment of my life. I just don't like doing it. It's kind of weird because you would think that I would um not have no problem with it because I'm an influencer, you know? But I'm gonna say this again. I am introverted. I'm only so I became a content creator by mistake. Like it wasn't even on purpose. Like I wasn't even on purpose that I always ask people when they always say, "How did you become an influencer?" It was an accident. It really was an accident. I did not mean to start this. I really didn't. I really had no no goals into this. I was bored during a pandemic and now we're here. I always tell people that all the time. So I'm still trying to fit my introverted life into social media. And it's just not going over well. I promise. It's paramount. Yeah, and I think that when she made this call or allowed him to, dress himself up as this side gig photographer to take footage of her, is where she kind of lost sight that she's someone that is she's public. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's in your comments. You never know any of those things. Any of those things. When you are meeting people offline, you never know who they are behind the profile, you know? And that is something that I had to get past um when I started social media, y'all, is I used to be afraid of like viewers. To this day, I don't like a lot of people watching me to this day. And I had to mentally train myself not to look at the viewers because my brain psychologically was like, who are these strangers watching me? I don't know who's in here. Hey, Sandra, I don't know who these people are. So the moment that I would get to 200 viewers, I would end my live because I was so spooked to know that it was strangers watching me. Like, it's a stranger in my house. That's how it felt, y'all. Like, that's how it felt. What she did was very unwise. That was the wrong move, y'all. That was the wrong move for her to allow him into her space, her comfort space, you know, just for some photos that she possibly could have taken herself. We have ring lights and ring cameras and movable stands. I'm not letting no strange person just come take pictures of me and I don't even know who he is. I don't like attention either. If you give me too much attention, I swear you're going to run me off. That's why I always tell people, if you ever do see me out in public, don't give me that savage. Oh my God, savage from Bigo. Savage from, don't do that. Talk to me like I'm one of your cousins or something. Run up to me like we cousins. I did it, and we can have, then we're going to be normal. The moment that you try to savage from big, I'm going to run away from you because you're scaring me. Because why are you treating me like this? I am nobody. Okay. I'm a regular person. I'm just like y'all. I live in a house like y'all. I have a family like y'all. I have a daughter like y'all. I'm trying to, function in life like everybody else. So don't treat me like that. I'm humble. You know what I'm saying? I'm humble enough to know that I'm like everybody else. Don't do that to me. Treat me like I'm somebody that you know for years. That's how I want people to treat me. That way I will feel safe. The moment you do that craziness, I'm running away from you right now because I'm like, what? What's wrong with you? Is you okay? Like, is you all right? Why is you? I don't like fangirls, right? Like, I don't know you didn't. I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Treat me like a regular person. Because you're going to see me at regular stores. You're going to see me at Walmart. You're going to see me at Target. You're going to see me at places I shop just like you. I'm normal. You're going to see me eat the same type of foods. You're going to see me do all that. Okay. So don't do that. So when it comes to certain people, especially when you start, when you, working online, you have to safeguard yourself in one way or another. There's no way around that, y'all. Be careful. All my OnlyFans girls, I know y'all get close with the guys and, they sending y'all little high tips and things. Be careful about what you're wooing and on, okay? Because some people, they take that woo and ah and that baby this and baby that, and in they mind, you really they wife. And you don't even realize that you're married. You don't realize that you're married. Y'all have 3 kids and 2 dogs together, and y'all live on a house on the hill with a white picket fence. You don't even know that, okay? But in their mind, that's how y'all are living. So really be careful about when you meet up, how you meet up, what you do, how the access you give them. Be careful of that type of stuff. People is crazy. Like groupies are over the top, right, Layla? I just treat me normal. Cause I'm normal. When I say I'm normal, just like y'all, I do everything y'all do. Everything y'all do, I do it. I just do social media. I am nobody. Okay. And when I say that, I mean I'm not nobody special. So I am not, y'all. I'm not nobody special. So you will scare somebody. You never know what a person's fears are either. You know, you never know what their fears are. Me, I'm just afraid of certain energies, So you giving me a overbearing energy, you're gonna scare me off and be wondering why Savage is antisocial. No, how you approach me made me antisocial. What you did made me antisocial. I'm not antisocial. I'll talk and things of that nature. I'll conversate. But if your energy is not matching what I'm on, then I ain't got much to say to you. It's just that simple. And it's not a wrong thing. That's just how I operate. And that's why it's important to understand how you operate so that you can be able to identify what you're not willing to go, what you're not willing to put yourself through, what you're not willing to accept and things of that nature. You have to be aware. And that's how another way to safeguard yourself is being aware of what you can tolerate and what you cannot tolerate. Um, you special girl. We know how to keep it in perspective. Yeah. Well, everybody that's been watching me for a while, they know that though. People that know me, like you guys, a lot of those on Bigo, they know how I am. So they know that don't do that. Treat Savage like she one of your sisters or something. She accepts you better. But if you try to put her on this pedestal of social media influencer, she's going to stand off from you. A lot of people know this, especially those that's been with me for a while. That I want to be approached like everybody else. Treat me like everybody else. Like I'm your cousin. Like I'm just like your cousin. You from that cookout that they went to on what's the name? Poetic Justice cousin. Yeah, that one. Treat me like that. Groupies are investigators. You think so? That could be true. Cousin Savage. Yeah. Y'all think that? Groupies are investigators trying to see what they can see, taking pictures and shit. Oh, I cussed. I'm sorry. I forgot I was on YouTube. I'm looking at Bigo. Listen, sorry, YouTube. I'm looking at Vigo and cursed. I sorry. y'all know, y'all know Vigo is raw. Alrighty, y'all. I'm about to get ready to internet stalkers. Sorry, YouTube. I was looking at this screen talking to y'all. Went out there. Sorry, they almost got a bitter Savage over here on the YouTube side of things, y'all. They're like, oh shoot, Savage is cursed. All right, y'all. I got a little bit too comfortable. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. You can cuss on YouTube. I know that, but I be trying to keep it soft and delicate for y'all over here. See, y'all over here on the YouTube side, y'all don't get the raw. Over here on the Bigo side, they get raw. Okay. I try to keep it conservative for y'all over here and clean it up a little bit. I try to. I try to keep it a little conservative, because my audience over here on YouTube side is a little bit more older, a little bit more wiser, a little bit more, clean cut. My audience over here on the Bigo side, they're a little bit more raw. They're a little bit more raw. That's how they is. So I have to Bigo is hood. YouTube is my upper class. Bigo is the projects, y'all. That's how I put it. Bigo, so that allows me to be royalty on YouTube, Savage on Bigo. That's how it's broken down. If you guys did not know, if you really want to get a dose of Savage, you got to go to Bigo. If you want royalty and you don't want all the raw cursing, go to YouTube. Okay, I give y'all two sides. That's why my name is Savage Royalty. Clean it up a little bit. We hood too. Yeah, some of y'all is hood. Some of y'all are definitely hood, but I try to keep it. Y'all don't. Look at Elizabeth. Elizabeth talking about some. We hood too. Elizabeth, I promise you don't want hood over here. Okay, I promise you don't. I promise. I'm trying to save you. I'm trying to protect y'all. Okay, I'm really trying to protect you, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I promise you don't want it. Mm-mm. You don't want it. Lolita be over here every day on Bigo. Okay. Lolita is definitely hood. She be over here in the hood. Lolita be in the hood with us, y'all. Okay. She comes over here right after the show. She comes on Bigo. She comes watching in the hood, talking in the comments and everything. Yeah, Lolita does on a consistent basis. The real books be in the hood. The real books be in the hood, y'all. Don't yeah. So I do know. So it's some of y'all on the YouTube side that know how to get the hood, and then it's some of y'all. Bigo was too raw for me. See, evangelist. My YouTube audience a little mixed, y'all. So I try to sweep it up a little bit, clean it up. She sure do. I might have to join Bigo. Elizabeth, like, wait a minute. Yes, Lolita, she be over there. Alrighty, we are about to do Bigo though. We're gonna do a part 2 of the story from yesterday, where if you guys remember the man who killed his girlfriend after argument on Facebook Live, we're just gonna do a quick part 2 of that and give you guys. So apparently, a second brother has spoken out, and as well as the friend that was on the phone that was pissing us all off. She's on there. We got her. She has said some things as well. So, and his wife has also come out to say, my husband is da. So we're gonna get into that today. All right. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for tuning in to True Crime with Savage Royalty.